بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أيها الإخوة، أيتها الأخوات، اسمحوا لي أن أرحب بكم في حضرة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في هذا اليوم المبارك، في هذا الشهر المبارك، أن نحتفل جميعا بخير خلق الله سبحانه وتعالى. نحتفل برسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في جو فرح إن شاء الله برسول الله. إخوة وأخوات في هذا المسجد المبارك، حفلنا إن شاء الله سيكون بهيجا إن شاء الله بحضوركم وبرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وبالملائكة الكرام التي تحف مجالس الذكر إن شاء الله، مع مجموعة الأنوار المحمدية، اسم إن شاء الله تعالى مبارك. ستكون لنا معه وصلات إنشادية وفقرات أخرى. إذن على بركة الله نبدأ حفلنا هذا مع وصلة كريمة مباركة مع مجموعة الأنوار المحمدية، فليتفضلوا مشكورون إن شاء الله.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا ربي صل على محمد وعلى سادتنا آله وصحبه الكرام. فمن تذكر جيراني بذي سلم ما زجت دمعا جرى من مقلة بدمي. أم هبت الريح من تلقاء كاظمتي وأومر البرق في ظلماء من إضمي. فما لعينيك إن قلت كفوفا هامتا، وما لقلبك إن قلت استفيق ياهني. أيحسب الصب أن الحب منكتم ما بين منسجم منه ومضطرب. لولا الهوى لم تريق دمعا على طالب. فكيف تنكر حبا بعدما شهدت فيه عليك عدول الدمع والسقم وأثبت الوجد خطي عبرة وظلام مثل البهر على خديك والعالمين. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أملنا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أملنا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أملنا. ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد. طه رسول الله نبينا طه رسول الله نبينا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أملنا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أملنا. ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد. طه رسول الله نبينا طه رسول الله نبينا. شهر ربيع الخير منانا بخير خلق الله أتانا. 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 نور حياتنا سر هنانا نور حياتنا سر هنانا. نور حياتنا سر هنانا نور حياتنا سر هنانا. أعظم من يشفع فينا أعظم من يشفع فينا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أمانينا. أجمل ذكرى عزيز علينا نلنا فيها كل أمانينا. ذكرى ميلاد الهادي محمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد ذكرى ميلاد الهادي أحمد. طه رسول الله نبينا طه رسول الله نبينا.
جزاكم الله خيرا على هذا الحفل المبارك. نسأل الله تعالى يبارك لنا فيه ويبارك لنا في أولادنا وأصدقائنا وعائلاتنا وأحبابنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وأن يوفقنا لما يحبه ويرضاه. The feeling of the Prophet is, I don't think that there is any feeling from the creation of Adam till the day of judgment that is similar to the feeling of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? In Sahih al-Bukhari, It was narrated that the Prophet ﷺ was crying one day. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends Jibreel to him. He said, oh Jibreel, ask Muhammad why he's crying. Why are you crying? So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man li ummati min ba'di." Man li ummati min ba'di. So Allah Azza wa Jalla asking him why Muhammad is crying. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam answering Jibreel, he told him just a question. Man li ummati min ba'di. Who's going to take care of my nation after my death? And that's the feeling that I wanted to share with you. The Prophet ﷺ was programmed in his heart, in his mind, of nation, his nation. Even on the day of judgment, all the prophets, they said, okay, I'm not having any what we call intercession. There is no intercession. I cannot do that, except Muhammad ﷺ. So the Prophet ﷺ, even when he was alive, his mind and his feeling was with his nation, not himself and his companion. No. He knows that he's saved, his companion inshallah will be saved, but he has a concern about the nation, his nation. So he said, "Man li ummati min ba'di." So Jibreel asked Allah Azza wa Jalla, he said, a report to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the Prophet was asking about his nation. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إن الله عز وجل إن ربك لن يخيبك في أمتك. Allah عز وجل won't disappoint you on your nation. Won't disappoint. ولهذا الله عز وجل said in سورة الضحى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى. ولسوف, indeed Allah عز وجل will give you till you become pleased. ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى. And that's and other prophets been made to act against their own people. He could not handle it. He was overwhelmed. But the Prophet never done so. And he was all the time with this kind of feeling, nation. That's why I think the most beloved one that's supposed to be in our heart is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's as a believer, as a Muslim, that's how we're supposed to share our feeling with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم وجزاكم الله خيرا على هذه المشاركة وهذه المباراة الطيبة. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعل أعمال إخواننا الكرام في هذا مسجد شيكاغو في ميزان حسناتهم يقومون بمجهودات كبيرة. أسأل الله عز وجل to grant يعني paradise. أسأل الله عز وجل to bring all of us together for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وأسأل الله عز وجل to be pleased with us. And أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى to make us among of those that Allah عز وجل is pleased with. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today I prepared a art piece to be a symbol of a message I want to bring out. This message I want is to show that as Muslims, we shouldn't just close ourselves off. And by that I mean, we shouldn't just help each other as in just Muslims helping Muslims. What I'm trying to say is, at times of need, when we feel that we are dripping down and in the lowest part of our lives, we want to reach out and have another hand on top reach back towards us so they can grab and hold us together. We want to create a bond, and we want to spread the message of our religion, the message that the Prophet left behind, that we should be together as not just Muslims, but as humans, because we only live for so long as Allah allows us to. And for that lifetime, we have to spread the message of staying together as one. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. So today we're going to be reciting a very popular spoken word about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Born in the year of the elephant, even as a child he was special, it was evident. Birth of the Prophet mentioned in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy 18:18, that's your reference. Perfectly proportioned, the most handsome, most elegant, impeccable character, most humble and intelligent, compassionate, considerate, in speech he was most eloquent. Even before he was a prophet, he was a man of great eminence. He was ranked number 1 in Michael Hart's most influential. Please refer to the Book of Hadith if you need to check his credentials. His message is worshiping Allah alone is essential, and the Quran and his teachings make up all our fundamentals. On the Day of Judgment, we rely on Allah's mercy and his intercession. His words, pearl of wisdom, teaching us valuable lessons. Liberator of women's rights, he was against all oppression. The English language can do no justice, forgive me for my indiscretions. His face is more radiant than the full moon, and his sweat smells better than the most expensive perfume. The light that shone bright like the sun shines at noon. Follow his example if you want to be al-muttaqun. He came to an illiterate nation at a time of desperation. He was a real revolutionary who led by revelation. Seal of the prophets, we wish him peace and salutation. Testify he's the messenger of Allah before our daily congregations. When the Arabs worshipped fire and idols, he took them out of Jahiliyyah. Those were the real dark ages until people start to see clear. He faced so many hardships, yet he still persevered, and his da'wah is the reason why you see me standing here. Even his enemies knew him as Sadiq al-Amin. He tried to assassinate his character when he spread the message of Tawheed. He tried to invite everyone to Sirat al-Mustaqim, but most rejected his message and did not take heed. Every step he takes is for Allah and his deen. Allah split the moon for Quraysh, yet they still didn't believe. In fact, they tortured the believers. What a horrid sight it must have been. But imagine the status in Jannah of the earliest shaheed. They call him a liar, a soothsayer, a madman, and a magician. They couldn't swallow their pride and let go of their traditions, offering him power, wealth, and women to stop spreading the religion.
But he said, even if you offer me the sun and the moon, I won't accept your proposition. They threw animal intestines on the prophet while he was in prostration. Even stepped on the blessed neck of the best of all creation. But instead of retaliation, he turned to his Lord in supplication. Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Verily Allah is with the patient. He was boycotted, insulted, treated like an outcast. But through the pain and the struggle, he still remained steadfast. He's a mercy to mankind. He even says it in the Quran, Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 107. He even led the Anbiya in Salat before he ascended above the heavens. When he went to preach in Ta'if, they pelted him with stones. But he had blood-soaked shoes and he was bruised to the bone. Jibreel, peace be upon him, descended and said, give me the command, I'll get the angel of mountains to destroy all of their bones. But Allah's merciful messenger said, no, and let them be. For the land may one be home to people who believe. I remember these stories in times of difficulty and remind myself that the Prophet had it more difficult than me. Even though the slander and the rumors spread by the people of Quraysh, the Ansar came to know about the Prophet's message and his demeanor, and they accepted Islam and vowed to keep the Prophet safe. So the Messenger of Allah had migrated to Medina. At that time, it was known as the city of Yathrib. He ended their tribal feuds and led the people with justice. The land of the dates became the most blessed place. Became an even bigger problem for the people of Quraysh because their caravans to Sham were no longer safe. The believers had a home, Islam had a base. He was content in every situation as it was all Allah's qadr. He even had the help of the angels at the Battle of Badr. He taught us to love for ourselves what we love for one another, and he even referred to you and me as brothers. I envy the sand that met his blessed feet. It's hard to comprehend how a man could be so humble. He's the perfect example for the likes of you and me. He even forgave the people that mutilated his uncle. The Sahaba became human shields for the Prophet. When he would make wudu, they would make sure they catch every single droplet of the water that came from his blessed body.
Their actions prove that they loved him more than anybody. Islam spread from Medina, Muslims multiplied in numbers. The high leaders of Mecca feared that their days were numbered. And when the Prophet returned to Mecca, he could have taken his revenge on the people who used to oppress and torment. He could have captured everyone and enslaved them. He was in a position of power, surrounded by thousands of brave men. But what he did next brought the people raised. Imagine you were there and you had to lend an attentive ear. You had to hear what the Messenger of Allah may not be with you next year. Indeed, the greatest calamity is when he departed. We show our love for the Beloved by following his sunnahs. Inshallah, on the day of judgment, we get to drink from his blessed hand. 21st century role model. He's not your average 7th century man. May Allah reunite us from him, with him in Jannah, and save us from the fire of Jahannam. We love him more than ourselves.
And thank you for listening.
خصك الرحمن بالنحو للأوزار حباك في الجنان بالحوض والإنهار تباري يوم عشرا بكثرة أنصار وفزت في الوجود بالحب والإصرار فأنت في انتساب خيار من خيال.
The best among you is the one who doesn't harm others with his tongue and ear. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
A father gives nothing better than a good education. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He is not a true believer who eats his fill while his neighbor is hungry. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The most perfect man in his faith among the believers is the one whose behavior is most excellent, and the best of who you are the best to the worst. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Happy is the man who avoids hardship, but hellbound is the man who is reflected and shows earnestness. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No two things have been combined better than knowledge and patience. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Tell people of glad tidings and do not push them away. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Feed the hungry and visit a sick person and free the captive. If he be unjustly confined, assist any oppressed, whether a Muslim or non-Muslim. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Seek knowledge from cradle to the grave. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. God does not look at your forms and positions, but He looks at your hearts and your deeds. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Riches are not from an abundance of worldly good, but from contented mind. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Exchange gifts. You will love one another. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best among you are those who have the best manners and character. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Your turn.
The greatest deed is to battle your own soul, to fight the evil within yourself. The strongest among you is the one who controls the enemy.
The greatest of richness is the richness of the soul. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a reward of kindness to every living thing. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Strive always to excel in virtue and truth. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
عن عبادة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من استغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات كتب الله له والمؤمنة حسنة. عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله فله به حسنة والحسنة بعشر أمثالها. لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الله اصطفى من الكلام أربعا سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. فمن قال سبحان الله كتب له 20 حسنة وحطت عنه 20 سيئة. ومن قال الله أكبر فمثل ذلك. ومن قال الحمد لله رب العالمين من قبل نفسه كتبت له 30 حسنة وحطت عنه 30 سيئة. صلى الله عليه وسلم يا حبيب الله.
صدع